Was this the right move for the Green Bay Packers?
You know, I'm not gonna really skip question it like that because it doesn't seem smart or right because Aaron Jones was a baller for Green Bay, right? Over a period of time. But I also been on a team in a situation like this where you look at two guys and you say to yourself, what's wrong with him? How come we're acquiring another guy? And this happened back in 1998 when I was with the New York Jets and Bill Parcells. And Coach Parcells, we had Adrian Morrell, a 1,200-yard rushing running back, pretty good.
Curtis Martin.
And Bill said to me, you know, we're going to trade Adrian Morrell. I was like, for what? He was like, don't worry about it. Let me do my damn job, basically, is what he said. And we went and got Curtis Martin, paid Curtis Martin at the time, the highest paid running back, the whole deal. The rest was history. It was a Hall of Fame running back. So I don't question it at all. I question more so why the Raiders let him get away. Why the Raiders let Josh Jacobs get away, because Antonio wants to run the football and he wants to play defense. And you see they went out and signed a big defensive lineman. So they want to do certain things with philosophy. I don't know that Josh Jacobs is a two-way back the same way that Aaron Jones was for Green Bay. You know, I don't know that. But they may see something different in Aaron Jones. They want him to take a pay cut down to 50%. Nobody's doing that.
No.
That was just a setup to be able to release you, to sign somebody that we like, that we may have always liked from Alabama. We probably were in love with him from Alabama but couldn't get him, and now we have the opportunity to get him, so we went and got him. You wouldn't take the pay cut, so therefore we release you and let you move on with your career. So I don't know why they did it, but it's one of those deals where why would Aaron Jones take a 50% pay cut when he took a $5 million pay cut the year before? So essentially you want him to start working in football terms for free. So I don't blame Aaron Jones telling him to go pound sand, get out my face, and if they felt that Jacobs is the guy that'll get them what they're looking for offensively, then I have no issues with that.
Okay. So people who've watched the show for a long time know I am the biggest Aaron Jones fan because he's still a kid to me. I know he's 29 years of age, but he just made it the right stuff. He's great in the locker room. He's great in the huddle. He's great under pressure on 3rd and 8. He is a baller. Bigger the game, brighter the lights, better he is. And I even look at last year. He was hurt for a while, came back, and he went on another roll, late season roll. I'm looking at his last 5 games of the year, including 2 playoff games. And I'm looking at 127 yards rushing and 120 yards, 111, 118, 103. He went over 100 yards 5 straight times to close the season out. Nobody in football had a higher average per game over those 5 games than Aaron Jones did. He's not the biggest guy. He's not the fastest guy. He just knows how to run the football. He's hard to get on the ground, especially on the biggest plays, the biggest downs. And I believe in him because his teammates believed in him. And he became like a senior leader on the youngest team in pro football, the one that sledgehammered my Cowboys 27-0 before halftime of a home playoff game. And I don't get this because they are going to miss his tangibles and his intangibles because he's got
unless Josh Jacobs comes in and fills the void.
Okay. Josh Jacobs in 2022 was really good. He looked like he was making a case he's the best back in football. Last year, not so much. And I wasn't close to it, maybe.
But their offense, think about it. The offense was, coach got fired. The offense changed. It wasn't a good situation. They scored 0 points against Minnesota. It was 3-0. So, I mean, like, come on.
Okay. All right. Aiden O'Connell was their 4th-round rookie starter. And somehow he went 5-5 because of the defense.
Yes.
And we're about to talk about the Raiders and what they just did to bolster and beef up their defense. But you could be right, but he did not look the same to me last year.
And he was nicked up a little bit.
He was. And yet, to your point, it was significant to me that the Raiders didn't fight to keep him. Maybe that was just too rich for their blood. Maybe they thought that's just not, what was it, 4 years, $48 million. Maybe they thought that's just more than we want to go for him. But they did not fight to keep him.
That we know of.
That we know of. But it wasn't clear. It happened so fast, it just looked like, huh? Really?
Well, remember, they had been negotiating the entire time, and they were not going to franchise tag him again.
No.
And they had been negotiating and figuring it out, and then free agency started, and he rolled.
Okay, so Aaron Jones is a Drew Rosenhaus guy. And do you know Drew or, okay. So Drew can rub people the wrong way occasionally. He's really good at what he does. And he gets his clients lots of bang for the bucks. But sometimes he can get sideways with people because he's tough. He's a hard-nosed negotiator. And it's possible he just sort of alienated Green Bay management, which is easy to alienate because they're old school, hardcore, do it by the book. It's also possible that they looked at Josh Jacobs as 3 years and a couple of months younger. Okay, let's just go younger. It's also possible they looked at age 29. Next year he'll hit 30, and maybe he'll hit the wall. Possible. And it's the old Branch Rickey baseball bromide of you should always trade a player or get rid of a player 1 year before you think you should, because it's coming whether you like it or not.
And that may very well be true.
Okay. They're just going to miss Aaron Jones because he brought so much to that table. And it felt like that they had...
What did he have against the Dallas Cowboys?
Which game? The one,
playoff game.
Let's
last
see,
year.
Against Dallas. He had 21 carries for 118 yards.
Oh, no wonder you're so high on him. He played well against the Cowboys.
Well, that's 4 times.
Guys that play well against the Cowboys, you seem to think are the greatest things ever.
You know,
guys that play bad against the Cowboys.
Okay, but Aaron Jones has been a Cowboy killer because he grew up in El Paso, Texas, and he...
What does that have to do with anything?
Because he grew up wanting to be a Dallas Cowboy, and he was furious that the Dallas Cowboys passed him up. He didn't go until
So why Dallas didn't try to get him now?
5th round.
He only signed for $7 million 1 year in Minnesota.
Jerry doesn't do $7 million for running backs.
But he did
veteran
14.
minimum. That's what he's want. He's hoping that Derrick Henry's going to crawl to Dallas and say, okay, I'll play for a veteran minimum.
So if Derrick Henry decides that he's going to go somewhere else for less money than what the Cowboys are offering him, wouldn't that be something?
Yeah.
That would be something if he decided to go play in Baltimore for less money than what the Cowboys would be willing to pay him.
Yeah.
How would you feel then?
I don't know. You know, to your point, what free agent ever changed his life? Why is Derrick Henry on the market right now? Why did Tennessee?
Team,
okay, why did they say no?
They're starting all the way over. I wouldn't want to be in Tennessee if I'm Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
I'd rather be somewhere that has an opportunity and a chance to win something.
Okay, but they said we're good with Tony Pollard over Derrick Henry.
Their team is garbage.
Yeah.
That team, Tennessee's garbage. That's why the coach got fired.
Yeah, I wouldn't say they're garbage, but,
Skip.
Yeah.
Will Levis, the second-year quarterback, is the guy.
Yep, and I'm not a big fan. Never was.
DeAndre Hopkins is the lead receiver at 30-plus years old.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they don't have anything.
Yeah, they got some pieces on defense. They got some pass rush.
They got a few players that could play.
Yep, okay.
But they're not good.
Okay, so it's also significant to me, Minnesota, their division rival, said, now.
Yeah.
Here, come over here. And I'm sure Aaron Jones said, thank you. I can't wait to play those guys twice next year. Now he turns into a Packer killer. Maybe he won't be so hard on us if we have to deal with him.
Well, because it's Minnesota.
Yeah.
But Kirk Cousins isn't playing there.
Okay. So, that could be a problem. But Sam Darnold is, and I never was a big Sam Darnold guy either. So where are they going with Sam Darnold? Right?
I don't want to get into the conversation about Sam Darnold because he never really got a fair shot to be a quarterback in the National Football League, in my opinion. He had 2 bad stops. He had a stop in New York who drafted him with no players. He's in a similar situation, or Justin Fields is in a similar situation that Sam Darnold was in New York. Sam never got the opportunity and the chance. Okay? His coach was horrible. Had just got fired from Miami. Brought him there.
Yep.
Okay, then he goes to Carolina, starts off okay. Then they get rid of Christian McCaffrey. Now the life is like, what am I going to do? Then he goes to San Francisco, and I'm assuming he learned some different stuff under Shanahan, and now he can go to Kevin O'Connell and the Minnesota Vikings that do things similar to Shanahan and probably resurrect his career with some skill position players around him with Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison and company. So it's a little different life for him now, I believe.
Okay. And I said from the start, Baker Mayfield will be better than Sam Darnold.
Stop.
Well, start. He has been.
Baker been in better situations.
I don't know. He was also in Carolina.
And you see how that went for Baker. But when Baker was in Cleveland, that thing was good. They went to the playoffs, and Baker is a better situation in Tampa. They go to the playoffs. It's all about the players that you're surrounded with and coaches that's competent. When you have coaches that are not competent and players that just are guys, you're not going to win. I don't care who you are.
So you think Minnesota's going places with Sam Darnold?
No, I didn't say that.
No.
But I bet you this will be, if he stays healthy, this will be the best year that he'll ever have. He's never had a Jordan Addison along with a Justin Jefferson, ever. They traded away DJ Moore.
They did. Yeah. He had Robbie Anderson in New York. Once upon a time, they beat my Dallas Cowboys.
You want something to drink, man?
No, hey.
Come on, man.
Go look at that box score and look what Robbie Anderson did to us.
That's cool.
It was like 90 yards.
You're judging Robbie Anderson based on playing against the Cowboys.
Well, that's what I know, what I see. They're the gold standard, right, in the league?
Oh, God.
Okay. All right, we spoke of the Raiders. Now we're going to dive into the Raiders. Looks like they're going to have to win the West with defense. That's what AP does. Thanks for watching, Undisputed fans. Do you want more highlights from the show? Make sure to click that subscribe button for all the exclusive content from Undisputed.